I think Riven's going to be just disappearing from champ select here for G2. I appreciate that they tried against their maybe stiffest competition in RNG yesterday, but we're going to see what they actually want to do in this draft. And yeah, I think priority on Ornn. Are there good Ornn counters, ones who team fight as well as him? You know, what kind of bot lane carries do we see? Because Lucian and Kalista are pretty much unpickable because they're banned almost every game.
Yeah, I don't think there's actually any mystery with Ornn counter picks or anything like that either. You know, the Aatrox is a premier counter pick, and they used it yesterday, but unable to get enough of an advantage out of it. And I think the only one that really has had a big impact has been the Mordekaiser.
Yeah, I love
so
that.
the question is, do you have enough time invested in Mordekaiser play for you and your team? Because it does alter how you play with your team a bit. You know, did get extra move speed off the passive on this patch too, so it's a little bit better. But as far as the bans, we don't expect a lot to change with the bans. You know, Ahri as well probably will follow. There we go, get that one. And then you start to whittle it a little bit down. Sometimes you get some targeted picks towards AD carry pool, you know, whittling down here, especially from blue side. PSG has the options. You know, Kisee, Flakked has been actually amazing for G2, doing so much, carrying a lot of their team fights, and especially to me, his Kisee play.
Yeah, he's been really, really good. G2, though, have been attacked a fair bit in the bottom lane. The stat that I brought up and have brought up again is deaths pre-5 minutes. So the leader, by the way, is Froggy over there with 4. He's not doing too hot.
Froggy has not had a good time.
But the G2 bot, so there have been 12 total deaths by the 5-minute mark on the Rumble stage. 3 of those 12 deaths belong to the overall G2 bot lane. Targamas at 2, Flakked at 1. So they have had their stumbles in the early game. It's like a long row of people at 1, and then Targamas up there at 2, and so they combine for 3. The math's pretty simple there, but yeah, what it comes down to is, okay, their late game has been outstanding, right? They've done a really, really good job in the team fights, but make sure they can step up in the early game.
All right, really, really high importance here on grabbing this Lee Sin. After the Wukong has been banned, previously, most of the early jungle picks had gone towards Viego, but the priority really falling off with the lack of success. And honestly, I do put a lot more emphasis on the Lee Sin. So I think this is a good adjustment, you know, kind of halfway here through this Rumble stage, getting for that first pick, also not showing bottom lane yet. Now, Kalista has almost always been answered by Tristana lane, and it's gone for the all-in Tristana lane. You know, you get Tristana plus Nautilus. So if they lock in the Kalista here, that one is locked in now here for G2. That's what you expect for Unified and Kaiwing. And to me, the way that PSG wins is Unified has to do well. He is the carry of this team. Him and Kaiwing have done so much. So, and especially when they've prioritized getting him Tristana. This to me seems like a no-brainer Tristana Nautilus combo for PSG answer to the Kalista, but with the way that G2 have been drafting, you know, I actually do kind of trust in Dylan. You know, what is this plan? They've also got to know that that is the most obvious answer in 2-3 here.
Yep, trade out 1 blade for 2. I think scissors, you know, you put the little lever in the middle and it becomes scissors, but it's still 2 blades, so I think that's just an upgrade in kind of all cases. Okay. Have seen a lot of the Rel coming through as an answer alongside Tristana. The problem with Rel, to me, is Gragas looks really good against both Trist and Rel. Unless you're going to do a flash, like, you could just body slam on reaction to crash down and kind of break a lot of that. So do you want to see if Targamas goes for Gragas as an answer here, or if it's still just the Leona Nautilus that we see so often? Obviously, less of an engaged champion if you are on Graggy.
There it is.
Yeah, okay. There's a duo that you know, pretty much called out here, the Tristana that you wanted to see. And yeah, I'm just curious, is there going to be enough engage on G2?
Yeah, yeah, like you said, Gragas is the premier counter into Rel. We did see, and I like Azael did a replay of one of the answers where Rel then has to get fancy, and yeah, you're like flashing to remove some of the timing and some of the counterplay there. Looks like we do get the lock-in. Now, I'm assuming this is going to Jankos for Jungle Poppy here. Poppy did get the buff on the Steadfast Presence, which is a big part of the reason you pick Poppy in cases like this. Tristana, Rel, Lee Sin all have dashes. All can be interrupted here by Poppy. Jankos can truly be the grandpa protecting the rest of the squad here against all these dashing champions from PSG. I really do like this flex here. they don't have to lock in their answer for the support role. And technically, Poppy could go support, but I'm assuming it's going into the hands of Jankos. We'll see if they ban Gragas on the side of PSG to make their bottom lane a little bit more safe. Because again, Unified and Kaiwing are critical to the PSG success.
Really are. They're going for the aggro options though instead. Pyke gonna be removed. Certainly can duel back pretty well. Halo Blade's Pyke, he has really high AD. The Q's gonna land. Like, you know, if you're going for just the shots on Tristana, I can see that kind of working out as looking good in the 2-on-2. They're obviously not expecting it as Poppy support. Is possible. Like, you could do it and just go surprise, it's jungle last. Right now they're not banning as well as the case, but we'll see.
Honestly, too, one of the biggest things for me has been Targamas roams. This man has been so quick with his roam timings, really opening up some caps play, as well as even visiting up top 4 BrokenBlade. So taking out the Pyke first against G2, you can always give some points to that ban, and they opt for the Zoe answer instead, taking this one out from caps. Don't want to let him have that extra range from mid lane. Of course, there hasn't been a ton of investment otherwise into mid lane. Every other mid lane ban so far is just standard.
Yep, and haven't seen the rest of the draft just yet. Nautilus would come through as a very standard engaged support. That's going to be the lock-in here. Pretty hard to anchor to interrupt a crash down, something like that, but you still have obviously just overall engaged tools. Poppy, not the best team fight starter. Honestly, you would want something bigger than that. So Nautilus fits the team comp. Again, not the lane counter, but the draft for the 5-on-5, which totally reasonable.
Yeah, exactly. Point and click with the ultimate here is one way to force Tristana to stop jumping around if she's starting to get resets as well. Top side, they do go with the Kennen into the Gwen. We've seen this several times. You know, decent matchup. You can hover the range outside, get just inside of the mist. Your early laning is pretty decent. The real question is, what was the protection ban on Zoe? Is it just respect to caps, or is it actually going to be something that has to worry about that range like the Syndra?
All right, Syndra definitely a bit more mid-range and fairly reliable crowd control, hoping for, you know, decent laning phase, but obviously...
Oof. This to me though, Freak, this is that deviation where I have loved the hone-in of PSG identifying themselves that they want Bay on denial picks. You know, safe picks, Lissandra, Malzahar, these shutdown kind of memeable mid lane picks that will guarantee you some level of value though. This one is definitely much more risky. For Bay to be on. He is so much more vulnerable on Syndra. It's a very, very aggressive mid lane matchup into Corki. You want to punish the Corki early. Caps is throwing it down and saying, hey, Bay, you better do something early because I'm going to scale into a massive mid poke source of AP, regardless of you banning out the Zoe. And so this actually puts so much pressure on the mid jungle of PSG. And I think that's exactly what G2 want.
It's going to be really interesting. Of course, Corki, ever since Hexagon buffs from about 2 months ago, he just Hexagon first item in any sort of reasonably threatening mid matchup, and you're going to be fine. Very hard to kill you if he goes for this play. So Caps, going to be happy to scale. Pressure is on Bay, as you mentioned. And in terms of 5-on-5 power, honestly, it feels pretty close.
Yeah. I mean, they do have the possibilities to pull off these plays. You know, if you look at the champions, Syndra and Lee Sin, that's a great combo. But then if you look at the name tags, Jankos and Caps have been the best mid jungle at the tournament. And so they're kind of daring you, make some early plays on us, or else we are going to outscale. You know, we've got Poppy for super secure team fights later on, interrupting so much of these Dash champions from PSG. And then, of course, the Corki Rockets later.
All right, it comes down to G2 trying to keep pace. They are a game behind RNG, but if RNG drop a game and G2 wins out, tiebreak first place, pick your opponent for semifinals. It's probably EG or PSG, we'll see. And, you know, G2 would feel very good about that one. But if RNG doesn't drop a game, all G2 can do is say, well, we're just going to chill in semis, and you know, probably T1 is then my guess at that point. PSG Talon, though, they are a game behind EG, right? They got to make sure they can keep this one going. They need to make sure they can find their way up to the top of the standings because 4th place is the cutoff, and PSG at 2 and 4 have not made it into that just yet. We are on to the Rift. Now that G2 have looked mortal all of yesterday, PSG Talon, who slew them 24 hours ago, gonna have to repeat that.
All right, let's see. Fishing for a trap on top side. Okay, we'll see if they can get the wrap around. You generally, one person goes this side, the other two go here. See if they can pincer and get a summoner spell.
Yep. And dashes on backwards, going to be fine. Yeah, Targamas, you know, if you really screw up, flash Q, anchor, force flash out, you know, let your top lane feel good about that one, but yeah, not going to be much of a thing going on here. Bay able to go for a deep chance at a ward if he wants one, will do so. This will track. I actually like that ward because in any sort of default poppy pathing, blue, Grump, wolves, and then toward the raptors, right? Through that vision cone. If you don't see him walk towards raptors, he's wrapping down bottom side.
Yeah, one of the most important things is just seeing quadrant transitions for junglers early on. Because again, Jankos, so he has opted for the phase rush poppy, which definitely gives you more options once you're.
Oh, what a good position!
Barely does not catch that ward. Oof! Big miss.
I like that ward even more. I like that ward even more.
Ward.
That's one of the nice things, right? Like, put it as far back as you can while still seeing the route out, and now they don't know that this is still deep warded.
Hey, we said there was extra pressure on Bay, and look at him just standing up here on the mid-season invitational stage. Genius ward placement. Okay. Meanwhile, it doesn't matter. Juhan also is on G2 vision. He does know it, though. They got an auto attack off on that ward, so during the placements, definitely know that they're going to be tracked both sides here. So both junglers known to be on the top side of the map and will be transitioning towards bottom half.
Nice little stun there. Gets 2 first. Easy QE.
Yeah. The other thing here, too, with that ward, we mentioned that Syndra wants to play aggro early into Corki, and you can see him playing up in lane, pushing this wave. He knows that he can hover to his blue side because of that ward. They know the Poppy has not transitioned.
That's a really good pullback. The Targamas going to take a turret shot. Actually, 2, it looks like. That's pretty meaningful damage. Goes a little bit too far, and Kaiwing there for the flip back in time.
Yeah, even in the level 2 versus level 1 kind of discrepancy there, the tower is the real trump card.
Yep.
Nice little playing on the range there. So Jankos is going to head over. Ward has already expired, but the work that ward needed to do has already been done. And so Bay, when we saw him hover up towards that top side previously, did not have anything to place, and so still continuing up a decent amount of harassment. 1 potion left for Caps.
Yeah, managed to go 18 to 16 in CS, so good job denying 3 there on Bay's side, but well done by Caps to get the CS anyway on most of that one. Obviously losing some health. And we'll see when he wants to TP back to the lane. Ideally, Tier and a Hex Drinker I think would be a really, really, really great recall timing, but that's obviously very far away.
Yeah, that's definitely a reach.
1,800 gold.
he is playing First Strike, but it's still definitely a reach.
You're recalling once before that.
Yeah, especially against Syndra, a lot of times Bay actually hitting the combos to get that stun, so not getting the return First Strike extra generation.
Yeah, we're just chilling a little bit more, right? We'll see if that CS lead grows above 2 right now.
Yeah, which is a pretty good pace for the G2 squad here, especially with the solo laners that they have. 2 very strong AP scaling solo laners. Again, PSG, they don't have to rush this early on in the game. Only 4 minutes is not the time period where you start crunching in on the time scaling.
Yeah.
But are looking for some early invasive movements here with Juhan.
I believe he knows that it was a topside start for the Poppy. With that, Scar's Bloom knows, okay, he did take Krug's part of the rotation. If you never saw Poppy specifically, doesn't know if it was 24 CS or 20, didn't know what kind of clear it was. But ultimately, looks like he wants to re-invade here. I mean, they do have topside pressure, right? So he and Hanabi can kind of combine for something here. Jankos has a ward that will track if Hanabi comes down. Obviously, BrokenBlade can see it. But with that smite, he's going to get Krug's no problem. And now it's going to be a little later recall from Juhan, who might have been waiting for ambient gold to get pickaxe plus control ward. I'm not certain on his exact gold income, but recall's a little bit late, and you can see that Jankos already on the map.
Yeah. You always want to get your components here for your Iron Spike whip.
Yeah.
Grab your pickaxe is the key timing that you're trying to wait for. Always nice to grab the extra control ward.
Yeah.
For the extra little bit of time there. Obviously, vision is paramount, and Jankos himself being able to clear out the kind of very shallow ward.
Yeah, I know with a 7 can't clear gets you pickaxe pretty much every time. Again, I don't know because I don't play a lot of Lee Sin right now, but like he might have had to wait for the control ward itself, and that's why he was kind of delaying the recall. I was like, I might as well be out here instead of sitting in the fountain. Anyway, as you mentioned, has the vision. Look for the nice flip back there, going in for Flakked. Flash gets away from the Tristana slow, and they trade back on a Kaiwing exhaust on. Might have enough damage as, honestly, Flakked takes an ignite to maybe push him off, and Kaiwing will stay alive.
All right, we've got double summoner still up here on Unified, so he's got the bit of an advantage. Targamas does have his flash, and Jankos is on the way, though, so G2 might try and punish the offensive use of summoner spells.
And they've pinged that they don't know if Jankos
Targamas
is around.
flash.
They're coming in. All right, are we going to have a play? There's the first shot. Great rocket jump time by Unified. Able to see the anchor come down. Rocket jumps away from it. Now Juhan's over, and he's not on vision either.
The timing of the ward, though, in Tribush did see him. So that ward just expired. The last remnants of life of that G2 Tribrush ward did see, and so Jankos just pulls through. They call off the play. It's still going to be a win for PSG Talon, being able to push up and grab this dragon, start their dragon stacking at 6 minutes.
And it's going to be claimed. It looks like no problem at all. Scarsman's going to see that one happen. They know someone's around. There's Targamas on vision. Juhan has smite. You pretty much can't screw this one up. It's obviously possible, but there you go. Q follow. Out he goes, and no ward. Has to pull over Bay, and does so.
Yep, no danger though. And again, since the options with Poppy are either to go Predator or Phase Rush. Phase Rush is so much better for later in the game, but obviously Predator makes you more scary towards some of these early gank possibilities that he could have had. It would also require buying boots though, so if you don't want to invest money in early boots, or if you want to go with the free boots, then you never want to take that rune, and that's probably the option there for Jankos.
Fair enough. Pushing on towards that one as he's going to knock down bottom scuttle. Thank you for the gold and XP. We did get the Hexagon recall out of caps, able to sit around long enough to buy that. Couldn't afford tier. That's fine. I'll stack it later. The important part is that he's going to feel good about pretty much being un-all-inable anymore.
Yeah, I mean, it's just such a crazy good item. Hex Drinker got buffed so effectively that you can generally get almost enough money around the level 6 timings. So if you can get your recall off, get enough money for your Hex Drinker around the Syndra level 6, it protects you against that very big kill opportunity spike for the Syndra lanes. And they call Kaiwing back over to clear out the wave once again, because Bay is low on mana, needs to get his recall off, even with those Sork shoes. Is going to try and find some extra distance here. Caps found him last time around and interrupted the recall, but Bay's going real deep now. Maybe they just hand off the blue buff and give him some more time out there with extra mana.
And speaking of Caps and Bay, he's now up in CS as he collects that wave 72 to 71. So Caps, congratulations, you withstood the only hard part of the lane. You've got Hex Drink and you're up farm. Smooth sailing, bud. Enjoy your team fights.
Yeah. All right, let's see if anything changes at Rift Herald fight. Both AD carries are bottom side. Caps, does he have a package he's picking up right now? Can't quite hear the game noise. If he does not, then
he's moving too slow.
Yeah.
All right, it's going to be a little bit of damage towards Targamas, but looking to play for this. And Smite is up and improved on both junglers. 900 will be the hit. Ult's going to come in and grab the support.
Ejection.
Eyes available. Nicely claimed. That is smited away by Juhan. I believe they stunned, and that is a kick flash to get the kill. First blood for PSG Talon.
Oh my goodness. Jankos getting a little bit too much there. Yeah, since Caps does not have the package, I thought for sure G2 just gives that one up, but wanted to get fancy with the Poppy there. And Jankos goes down for giving them first blood as well as the first Rift Herald.
Well, 500 gold leads. Going to feel pretty good right now. PSG Talon, do they actually manage to repeat history from yesterday? It would be G2 losing 3 in a row. Incredibly unexpected, but we'll watch this one again.
Yeah, Jankos, I mean, he gets an injection, but it's only on the support here. Wants to go for the eyeball hits plus smite combo. Doesn't quite get that, and then, of course, you're going to pay the price up against the wall here. Flash kick from Juhan as well to secure the kill.
Yeah. And really, really smart to think if he didn't kick flash, there's a really good chance that Jankos gets like half a second and then flashes that thick part of the wall, and that chase gets really tough. So does take the cooldown burn, but guarantees the kill with it.
The benefits of having so many stuns on your team, though, with Kennen plus Syndra landing there, setting you up. Plenty of time for Lee Sin to get in there for the play, and now PSG starting to feel the momentum.
See if they can keep going. Bot lane actually looking pretty good as well. 7 CS lead with only about a 3 minion difference on the wave. So definitely Unified and Kaiwing feeling good down here. We did see Unified, by the way, lose his summoners off screen a while back. A Gage comes in though. Targamas could be the target. No, it's going to be on a Flakked. Get a flash away for Targamas as he was the one who had the summoner still up, able to get away with a 900 gold lead to PSG Talon. Cap can try in the mid lane. Again, that power spike looks good. The ulti does decent damage. Hector goes still up, so not even close to dying. There's the pop for the cooldown. They trade blows back and forth.
Yeah, as soon as he sees the extra members down on bottom side, Goes for the super aggressive Valkyrie. Does have his blue buff still as well as he clears out mid and gets some extra vision around him. Interesting. I want to see if they go for a topside play because PSG, they're going to take this whole tower, which is not explosive. And the Rift Child at the same time think this sucker is going down quickly.
Can they stick around for the rest? But the last plate is very tanky. Extra armor and MR on turrets, on turret plates when there's multiple people around, especially when they've been slain recently, both when they've been slain and just people in general. So pretty tanky turret. And doesn't go down just yet, but obviously quite a lot of money earned, though some of that has been shared by Kaiwing, so not the biggest donation to Unified. And now they're going to run away. Targamas, no flash, but good anchor. Kaiwing can time the W, does so. Actually just dodges it outright. Well done.
So, Corky package saved there from Caps for the spawn of this dragon. It looks like they do not want to allow PSG to even start stacking after the first early dragon. Now G2 have a package timing, and Caps is looking to use it bottom.
And teleports are coming up pretty soon. Similar timing, Hanabi, I think a little bit later than BrokenBlade. BrokenBlade's up is 3, 2, 1, and basically now. And there's like a 5-second desync for Hanabi. So does that matter? Because Dragon is up and G2 already on it. And looks like PSG Talent say, no, Hanabi's like, I don't have teleport, can't happen. And they're not even going to make the play. So G2 able to tie in Drakes.
Yeah, love it. Just use the threat of the package while he holds it. Dragon picks up no problem, and as it times out, you can always use it to, you know, push mid or something, extra wave or something with the package. Get your recall off. The timings are quite nice. Tier stacking away. G2, even though they gave up the extra first blood, which was unnecessary, as Jankos went in, still they have very, very strong scaling on their side. And going according to plan here.
All right, Mascot Mythic is in. Kraken Slayer, sub 12 here for Unified. Again, got his share of some plates, soloed one as well earlier on, so that's going to feel comfortable. Unfortunately, there's nothing to play for. Herald is, you know, relatively soon. I think it's about a minute. We don't have the little marker down the mini-map, but it was slain not long after the 9-minute mark, so should be fair. Well, actually, it's going to be after 14 minutes. You can't get second Herald before plates, so it's going to be a bit, but we'll see if Flakked almost certainly will get his shield bow in time for that. Not doing this rated Dirk Spike that we had seen other Callistas do at this tournament, so a more just get to 3 item kind of build here.
Yeah, almost 50-50 on those possibilities. We do have the Chem tech or the Turbo Chem tank picked up here for Jankos. Yeah. Has the extra move speed now, even without the Predator. Also, his free boots came in, so that was the key as well. Plenty of move speed now for the Poppy to actually get in to some of these fights, get an angle for one of those wall plays for himself. Also, Poppy's so good at marking Kennen. One of the things we mentioned in Champion Select is trying to always mark Kennen for the mid-game team fights, which we're approaching with. We haven't had too much action yet, but should start to be a concern for the teams, especially once the Unleashed teleport comes in.
Yeah. You mentioned Mark and Kennen, actually. I want to point out that I think, we got to fight the bottom side first, coming a bit low, crashes backwards. Good rocket jump timing. Let the stun hit during the cast time of rocket jump, and then your move block overrides theirs. Good job getting out.
All right, let's see if the 4v3 takes place here. Caps has teleport, and he could teleport to the turrets, even though they're not unleashed yet.
20 seconds. Turret dangerously low, though. If you TP, I think the turret actually dies before your teleport finishes.
Now it does.
Yeah, I mean, BrokenBlade doesn't have TP anyway. It's going to be, Caps not going to be here as well. Turret goes down. Well done, bot lane siege. There is a Caps teleport into the bottom lane. Not going to mean a whole lot for him, though.
Yeah. I guess they don't really want to fight on the expiring turret, then just uses it to get right back out to lane in case there was an overchase from PSG. And so PSG keep up their gold lead here and more money, even though this one shared over 4 members. Unified still at the top of the gold list here.
Yep. Hanabi, of course, doing well in lane as well, has at least taken 2 plays. Now, BrokenBlade actually had TP back to top lane, has run away back to farm Krugs, and he's just kind of letting Hanabi just like knock down his turret right now. BrokenBlade does not think he can safely farm, it seems, because he's letting a wave die to his turret, I think off the threat of maybe Lee Sin being there.
Yeah, pretty annoying harassment, plus the transition up through mid lane here from PSG. Going to secure Rift Herald number 2, it looks like. Jankos is on the way, though. Actually, Syndra is bottom. Bay does have teleports. And the Herald has already been taken.
That's almost entirely top turret right now. Targamas going to be taking a lot of damage. Nice pullback, but it's going to deliver damage towards Caps. The stun lands, the execution nearly there. 1, 2, look for a third. They've got it. And PSG Talon are crushing G2 2 days in a row.
They wipe him off the map, and Freak, they had already just taken Rift Herald number 2, so they can do damage. damage to these turrets. They will lay waste to G2. They will lay waste to their turrets as well. That's going to be an instant 2-turret pickup on top of 4 kills.
I cannot believe what I am seeing over the last day. We were talking about how long will the G2 win streak last.
Those are not happy faces.
How long will the G2 loss streak last, Kobe? This is chaotic. They crushed the best teams in the tournament back to back on day 1. They crushed EG 5 times in a row.
There has been so much focus on Rift Herald fights, and back-to-back in this game, Rift Herald fights for G2 have been disastrous. Targamas gets caught by the crash down here as he's trying to throw out his anchor to pull him away and buffer, but Bay comes in with the 2 stun on the back line. They can't even reactivate the Kalista ult. That was just complete domination from PSG. Yeah. Every timing works out for them. They've got Bay in the back line with the Syndra stunning them up. They caught Targamas as his hook is going out towards the wall with the crash down. My goodness, that was just
nice.
So incredibly one-sided. And because they were able to get it right after they took Rift Herald number 2, G2 have no defenses in mid lane now. So when you lose 2 turrets mid this early on into the game, then your jungle becomes just the enemy teams, basically. And PSG constantly going for these invades. They've already got super deep wards into the blue quadrant and will easily be able to take up this dragon. What can G2 do to dig themselves out of this early game hole?
Look for a little bit towards topside, maybe, but Jankos walking right over a ward. Gets spotted, no dive available to Hanabi. 2-0-2 on Rocket Belt toward Void Staff. That is basically lethality cannon, right? Stacking Magic Pen. You want to do as much damage as possible during the ultimate. Kevy here for defense, so it's going to be Hanabi starting it up. Finds a stun, a lot of damage. Caps, jumps away. Hex Drinker is down.
I mean,
not in range for more.
It's not going to get you a kill, and because everyone else is pretty far away, it's not really going to get you much except for recalls forced here by PSG. But again, a huge chunk onto G2 members, forcing them off the map, and just allows these easy recalls here for PSG to get their resets. This game has been just crazy from the G2 perspective. They look like so lazy with their Rift Herald setups, you know, single members straggling in, going to poke around the objective after, you know, PSG already burning them down in almost both cases. So let's see if they can finish it up here, because this means amazing things for PSG as we're looking towards that 4th place spot. This would be 2 wins over one of the Pool 1 seeds if they're able to complete this one versus G2, putting tons of pressure on EG and the rest of the teams that are fighting to try and get out of there. And
for sure,
my goodness, G2, see what they can actually do. They do have strong scaling, and we've been talking about with both the Gwen and the Corki. So all is not lost. It's just some avoidable mistakes early on in this game.
For sure. No, I totally agree with you on that one. Obviously, the team fight will still look pretty good overall. I think it's very well structured with the Nautilus and a Poppy, right? You can evict Hanabi. Like, Jankos going to either be superhero land R or just tackle the man and just be in range in the first place. So they can stymie PSG's tools, but obviously they're really, really sharp on the blue side.
Yeah, and the in-game indicators of how far you are behind, the objective bounties have popped up. So G2 could try and rally behind that if they make a big play and try and collect on some objective bounties, but you never want to be in a spot where those show up, as it means PSG will, again, move their vision up, start to take away a lot of your jungle camp income, and force you into some of these more dangerous rotations through the fog of war.
Here we see the movement. Just, going through. Not a huge problem just yet. BrokenBlade and Hanabi squaring off. BrokenBlade willing to drop CS once in a while to see, but can I find a flank kill? Can I find a solo? Because one of the downsides of this Kennen build, he's flashless, and he has no defensive stats. So if your fight looks good, it's hard for him to get away because you kill him really quickly.
Yeah. And so far, the Kennen has had very good DPS.
Yeah.
So many good catches and setup from the rest of PSG. Again, I just want to shout out Bay because he has been the one with the big magnifying glass on PSG. You know, a lot of people very critical of him, but he stood up. You know, he took up the Syndra. We were talking about more dangerous of a pick than he's been let on. He's been on these very, very safe kind of denial picks previously, but had the huge Syndra stun on the back line in their chase previously, and yet to die. I don't know if we're cursing him currently, but he
Yeah,
is,
wow. PSG Talon looks so good right now. G2 look out of sorts. I haven't seen Jankos get a super cool flank in so long, and I haven't seen a 5-man package yet, Kobe. Does G2 even have it in them? Because PSG Talon are careening towards a 9-game winning streak.
We have seen already, too, in several occasions, though, at MSI, teams get some early leads and then be unable to extend them through the mid-game. Some of them have fallen prey. You really do need to keep up your aggressive checks on an opponent if you do have a lead like this and they have scaling outs for later. Like, you can't get lazy with your siege of G2 if you allow them equal income here, being able to farm camps, being able to push out waves on side lane without being punished, then you could be in one of these cases where you set yourself up for, one big cash in on objective bounties, and all of a sudden you're still facing a 3-item Corki, regardless of how far ahead you got in the early game. And that becomes a scary situation. Regardless, though, PSG Talon very happy with the opening.
And there we go. Package going to be claimed up. Caps, we saw him near it 4 minutes ago. Decided I should wait. It won't be back up in time for the 4th Dragon of the game. So what is chill for like a 10-minute timer?
Yeah.
Grab the package. So G2 clearly saying, all right, look, we're down 5K. Winnable. I assume it's going to be a dragon fight.
Same. Interrupted the first one already, so those stacks aren't going to be super quick. Caps back to the top side, though. Only 18 seconds means
His TP.
Think they're going to hard commit to this because Jankos is definitely there as well. So
and he's spotted.
I think it's a good choice. Dragons are not going to be imperative anytime soon. It would still need another one for PSG to be able to cash in on the Soul, as well as really needing objective bounty money. So G2, intelligent decision. Yes, they made mistakes to get behind like this, but now that you're in this case, this is the best way to get out of it. Trade for money on the top side.
Getting 2 would have been such a big deal. Has package get out, though. Not going to get the second turret, so good to see how to be recall in time. But that would have been, I think, about a 2,000 gold swing. Dropping that gold lead by a lot. I want to point out, though, this 5K gold lead that G2, or that PSG Talon had at 20 minutes. G2 T1 was 5.8K, and G2 had won that game. So thank you, Stats, for checking that for me. I appreciate you. But G2 literally came back from worse against, I think, definitively a stronger team in T1 back on day 1. So, again, you can hold out hope. Yes, it's a mountain to climb. Yes, they have to find a teamfight win in 4.5 minutes, or PSG get Infernal Soul, and that's just going to double the lead we already have right now. So 4.5K, we'll see if they can walk that one back.
Definitely doable, definitely winnable, they're saying in
definitely
chat.
Winnable.
And as we were kind of alluding to, it's kind of been calm farming for G2 since they got in this hole. They don't have a lot of options for preempting the plays and simply trading gold, trading objectives there. Now you see bottom side, they're pushing up with Gwen. BrokenBlade probably won't be able to get any damage on tower because they don't have deep vision, and there is a defensive swap here from PSG. He actually extends a bit too far.
4v1, Baron is on the map, but will it matter? Also going to come across. They're going to definitely get the stun here, and BrokenBlade, not a lot of ways to live. Meanwhile, on the side of the map, we do have an attempted kill. BrokenBlade still trying in the 1v3, jumps over, big damage goes down, Juhan gets it, and now again, Baron is a possibility. It's 4v2 on that side of the map.
They chunked out Bay, and Bay does not have teleport, so low health Syndra, but even with that, they don't have the damage here. They don't have the threat on Baron, and it's an easy call for PSG to just push mid.
That's really smart. Because they didn't even threaten Baron. They threatened mid lane and taking your Nexus turrets.
It's a Tristana. Guess what? You allow Tristana to push mid, your tower's gone.
But that is still really smart, because I think so many people, I like the macro in this game a lot. You've been mentioning how it's been kind of calm. It's because teams are cross-mapping when it's like, oh, they have package. We can't fight second dragon. We're not going to bother, and there's not like 3 stupid deaths. And then the second time around, G2 goes topside because they can't fight for third dragon. No stupid deaths. Like, there's been a lot of really smart cross-map plays.
Yeah, I think it should have been more aggressive contest on jungle camps towards the mid stages. But here's the teleport to the bottom side. Was interrupted. Targamas and Jankos almost able to chunk down and finish up on Bay, but Bay got to the wall and flashed over. BrokenBlade was trying to create as much time as he could, but really the transition point here is the choice to go to Baron without having a ton of threat on it, and then Tristana, PSG being able to make that smart call to run straight through mid and open up that exposed inhibitor now.
Yeah, that's what I was alluding to. I agree with you on the jungle contest point. That's actually a really good call. That there probably were many missed opportunities, but saying, oh, we don't have to like walk at Baron and stop you, because there's plenty of players out there be like, oh, they're Baroning, we have to go. It's like, no, we'll kill inhibitor. Oh, you're right, we have to recall.
Yeah.
Like, that's really smart.
Definitely true here for PSG, extending their lead. And here's another teleport flank.
Oh, this is going to look really nice. Hanabi has everything up right now, including Flash. Cavs versus the Zonias. No way out for him. Deleted. And here comes the backline cannon. Got to run low on health, but is it enough there? Hanabi slinking away with his life. A shutdown for one. A 1-for-1 team up at Targamas. Low. Stopwatch. Here's BrokenBlade. Can he win the 1v4? Going in for damage. Could be the turnaround. Flakked's alive. Shield bill looks good. And Bay will fall. Explosions on the rift. And G2 want a bit more. BrokenBlade going to reset the jump off the minion. Not going to be in range of anymore. What a team fight. 3-1. G2 own the map.
Targamas was able to live with the shield off Locket into the stopwatch. Enough time for Flakked to be able to put out the DPS, and BrokenBlade wrapping around gets G2 this opportunity.
But the health bars are so low, it's tough to really play the Baron because Targamas is always going to be...
They've got Rend.
Yeah, but is he going to be a free kill? That was the problem because there are a lot of low health bars. Unified and Kevy got to play this one well. 2v4 in front of the Baron pit. Is it going to be enough? Flakked gets crit. Big damage, 5k. Rendable soon. He's got to go soon. Targamas pulls in one. Could be a kill. Will drop. Baron low. And it's going to be claimed. Spider for Poppy. Flakked should die and will do so. Jankos doesn't have the W to stop the jump, so that might be another one. Reset on the jump. Yes, indeed. Should find it. Tackle. Not going to be up in time. And that is 3 kills. That is equal goal to the Baron claim, but Baron's still on 2 for G2.
Yeah, and objective bounty shutdown there as well. Just as they clean up the Baron, that's the last objective bounty shutdown they can get. So worth it for sure for G2 to cash in on that. And Cap said revive, so Cap's also wearing a Baron buff. All you need is 2 so that you can do a 4-1 split push. Anyways, here's how Cap died in the first place. Really nice engage from Kaiwing. You see the Flash immediate answer here. And then they've got the wraparound here with the cannon, but the exhaust down was in time. And then Targamas, not only did he get the exhaust onto the cannon, but also really good timing on his stopwatch after the shield damage had been done. And once BrokenBlade gets there, Flakked knows he's got a new frontliner he can charge behind. And so chasing forward on the Callista, BrokenBlade giving him the space and allowing G2 to rotate over Baron, and then they flip it.
But Dragon Soul, the kills were long enough to go, the respawns come in, but Dragon Soul's been claimed, so here comes the team fight. Is it winnable? The pull-in comes out of the back line, but Unified is free-firing, pulled back, package in, Unified stuck in place. The Rocks come in for Cass, can he find the kill? No. 3 for 1 so far. BrokenBlade left just the solo laners, and Unified stands along his teammates, finds the 4th kill, and G2 lose Soul, G2 lose the fight, and Caps has no team left.
And they can chase Caps while sending Tristana mid. Johan!
Big damage, sidesteps that one. The flash follow, Caps! Doesn't need 4 teammates for that fight, but is he needed for the base to fall because there are minions, and that inhibitor should drop.
Yep, Tristana going mid, gonna explode that one really quickly. Caps will be able to get his recall off. It's now the 3-item Corki, so it is scary, but PSG, I wish we could see the setup coming out of that replay. I want to go even further back to see why G2 were a bit late on this. Maybe it was just the death timers, but PSG being able to burst down the Dragon Soul before this fight was very, very meaningful. Caps went in, had to jump over the back of the pit, and then he was already out of it. Meanwhile, Unified hops forward. They finish off the extra kill there behind Hanabi on the cannon, able to get so much done there, and finishing off the extra kill before they sent Tristana mid. Now it's no inhibitor towards mid, plus the soul picked up, the extra damage. I mean, this full damage cannon build, Freak, that's why you see them.
2,600. Mid and bot lane combined don't even compare. Really, really beautiful done. And we're looking at yet another victory here. PSG Talon 3-4 at 3 wins would tie the win count of EG. Of course, still games to play for that team, but the road toward a semifinal spot definitely looking not too bad here.
Yeah, definitely. They definitely do have options, and having the soul is very nice for them, but the scaling we mentioned for G2 is now coming to fruition. And they've got a lot of range there with the 3-item Corki, so we'll see. BrokenBlade and Caps pushing on bottom, trying to trade back some gold for G2. Both of those were objective bounties on, so extra money there and teleporting back for the defense of their inhibitor.
And they won't find a stun to that one. So now here comes the siege, knock back onto the Lee Sin. Not going to mean a whole lot more. Ultimately, Jankos will not find the next engage. Hanabi does not have flash, does not have a stopwatch. is Banshee's Veil blocked the pushback, which I think is actually very smart, considering you lose a team fight if Jankos manages to evict you. So I think that's actually really intelligent here, despite being against, I mean, half AP to be fair.
I mean, there's a ton of damage flying around in this game, and Soul is definitely meaningful. But it also means if you get the perfect knockup, the perfect opening there, Targamas has been very strong for initiating for G2. They can get kills very quickly. All the PSG members are fairly squishy, except for Kai Wing.
Yeah, they've supplemented at least with itemization. I agree, they're still very one-shotable.
The Kennen has no stopwatch, but Lee Sin does.
Yeah, Lee Sin stopwatch. You've got the Banshees on the mid lane and a Maw for Tristana, so they're aware of that threat, Kobe. They're like, yeah, Tristana's not natively tanky. I'm going to take a pit stop here, 2,800 gold, get a Maw. Like, I don't want to get one shot by Caps.
I think the biggest advantage here for PSG, just usher these super minions up the mid lane, and then G2 have to answer the super minions as well as this bottom lane where the secondary turret should not be fought over. This one is not worth it. Should definitely give this one up, allow PSG to push a little bit closer, and go for a more defensible position inside your base with that wall and the inhibitor turret.
Minute 18 until Baron spawns. You have to believe PSG Talon going to start playing for the top side. They've knocked down all the tier 2 turrets. Mid's already pressure at that point with the inhib down. So I feel like top jungle's the play, and you play that dance, getting rid of all the vision, and then say, all right, Baron, can you face check this? Jankos does have flash, does have smite, and could even evict Juhan.
Yeah. It's critically, too, you're going to have to watch marking Hanabi. Hanabi has done so much damage for PSG, so that means Jankos and Targamas will have to have that on their minds. Where is Kennen? This Kennen has Proto Belt and Flash, and a Banshee's Veil as well. With Banshee's Veil, makes it a lot more difficult. Somebody's going to have to, you know, maybe Caps throw out a rocket early to try and get that off so they could actually eject the Kennen. Otherwise, the Kennen has not only done a bunch of damage, but also created so much space that PSG very, very happy about the possible setup here. With Baron arriving in 25 seconds, they want to take over vision control around the objective first.
You can see the kind of vision that they have right now. Sweeper does catch the first ward. Control ward going to be easily visible as well, but they can't play that far up. Caps' poke actually doing a good job of pushing PSG out of a jungle they maybe should already own. Now, top is pretty much equilibrium. That's kind of about where both teams have their territory, you know, where those minions are beating. Mid is an automatic push, but Flakked easily clears it with a Hurricane.
All
Baron's
right.
alive.
Baron starting versus a 4-item Corki. Let's see how much work the Rockets can do. PSG are burning it down, though. 7,000 health and counting.
But can they get rid of Jankos is the problem. They don't find the stun. This could be it. This could be Jankos finding everything he ever wants. Targamas low. Gets a shield. No eviction. Is it going to be enough TP into the pit? They're going to go for Pro. They get the smite. And here comes the team fight as well. A lot of space built by Hanabi. Staying alive. And they delete one. Targamas is down. BrokenBlade dives in. Gets one back. No, pushing back on a Caps. Jankos one hit from dead. And he goes for everything. Unified. Just going to delete the LEC! PSG Talon, a triple kill for the Rady carry, and that's going to be the base.
That's going to be the game! PSG! Huge, huge stuff there. This sacrifice from Hanabi. He goes around the back of the Baron pit. He takes out Jankos, so Jankos can't get in for the smite steal, and Unified's going to finish the game.
And BrokenBlade is against the world. Even 2's not going to be enough. He's going to step, he's going to try, but he's going to get cut down. The Rock of PSG Talon unified, unkilled, 707, and G2 fall to 4-3. PSG Talon find their third win.
PSG Talon have G2's number, and it's G 0-2 versus PSG now. Unified again. We mentioned at the beginning of the game, this bottom lane for PSG Talon has done so much work, has been so critical in all of their wins, and yet this game, every member stepped up.
Yeah.
Bay with the Syndra stun early on the backline, getting them that team fight lead, that early lead in the game that PSG were able to use for so many minutes to extend. And Hanabi on the cannon, huge, huge damage.
And it means, I believe, that PSG Talon retain control of their own destiny. Even if EG wins out, if PSG beats EG, you tie in wins by winning out, you pick a tiebreaker, and you make that move forward. So beating G2 keeps them, again, in control of their own destiny. They can always catch EG regardless of that team's results. And the fight is to, again, make the semifinals, and they're on the road.
This is so big for PSG because the single win that they had gotten over G2